Hey guys, it's Karen, and today I am taking part in a collab challenge that was organized by Marna and Darren at Dolls Rescued, and you can check out their website at whimsicalblythe.com. And I have issues, so I did not finish this collab, and I will tell you why. First of all, Marna and Darren so kindly sent me this pattern, and I was so excited because I'm a child of the 70s, and I absolutely love this boho maxi look, and I was so excited to do this. Now, I've made skirts like this, so here's my first thing. My sewing machine isn't going to work, and now this isn't a big deal. I've made skirts like this myself, and I had one in stash, so I was just going to use it. But, and I've cut out the pieces here. But, there is so much skirt on this dress, like more than I do when I make the skirt. Like if I unfolded the main lower tier, this is, it's folded in half, and then you're supposed to cut it on the fold. So this would be 4 times the size. And then I was not going to sew that by hand. It just wasn't going to happen. And like I said, because I already had a skirt that I had made like this, I was going to pair it with this white blouse that I was doing. So this dress is a blouse and a tiered maxi skirt. And then you can also make the scarf and the sash. Well, I wasn't going to bother sewing up a sash. I was just going to use a ribbon, and I was going to leave her hair down. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut out the pieces for the shirt, the blouse, and I thought it was going to be extremely self-explanatory, very easy to do. This is the vest. So you start off with the sleeves, and they're very big. Everything's really big because it's supposed to be really blousy. And I don't know what the hell happened. Anyway, so you start off and you sew a casing on the bottom, and then you get an 1.5 inches of elastic, and you stretch it out, and then you sew it down so that it gathers here. And it calls for 1/4 inch, I think, not 1/8. Well, I had this. Yeah, because they said sew at a scant 1/4 inch, and I have 1/4 inch elastic here from AliExpress. So I was like, I'm good to go. So I did that, and it was fine. And then you sew the backs you sew the sleeves to the front and back, kind of like a raglan style shirt. And then you're supposed to gather, then you sew a gathering stitch here, and you leave that until you make this yoke. And this is the yoke here on the shirt. So you make, and can you see what's going on? Okay, so still self-explanatory. You cut out 2 of them. You sew it around the neck first, then you turn it inside out, and then you baste this down to hold it in place. And then you match the centers to the center of the blouse front, and then and you match the points on the ends, and then you gather everything in here, leaving yourself a 1/4 inch to turn over or for buttons or whatever. Okay, sounds really self-explanatory, right? Like, okay, we can do this. And here is the point. I want to show you something here. There was no points down here on the bottom of this. There was a dot, however, to mark what I assume is the center. You see? So I didn't realize when I was cutting it out that I needed points, but that's okay. You don't really need them. The main issue is here. You need these so that you know how far to gather to. So I pieced the right sides together, and I sewed on the yoke, and I gathered everything, and then I sewed up the sides, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I ended up with. Now, I don't even know. This is an old pattern, so I'm assuming it's for the older Barbie. And, damn it. Here we go. I really don't know what happened. So the first problem is the yoke itself. It's way too high. It's way too high. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. In the picture on the front, if you can see it, it's not up on her neck. It's supposed to fit right at the base of her throat. And I know that on the picture of the like the line drawing of it, it's the same thing. See here, right there. You can see the yoke right here sitting at the base of her neck. Well, what the hell is this? So did I do it too low? I mean, I gave it a 1/4 inch, and it doesn't say in the instructions to, let's see, it would be here, number 6. Pin yoke to upper edge of the garment, matching centers and small dots. Pull, I didn't see any small dots except for the one in the middle. Pull up gathering stitches to fit, baste, and stitch. And, you know, you used a 1/4 inch seam throughout. And so I did. I didn't do anything different. And then I did do one thing completely wrong. And this is something that, like, it's so hard. It's so gathered that it's really hard to see what you're doing. And I was sewing by hand. This gather here is really messed up. And on this side, it's not. It's better. But even so, it's really tight and not as blousy as the pictures suggest. And they're not full length, which I don't like. You can see that here on the Barbie. It comes to above her wrist. And I guess it isn't quite that blousy. But anyway, I am like so annoyed with this pattern. I can't even. I was talking to Tammy over the weekend, and I told her I was working on this, and she said, you know, the thing about simplicity patterns is they're really not simple. And I think I have to agree with her. I mean, this was simple in the instructions, like not a problem, but then what the hell is this? What happened? Yeah, so this is pinched wrong. This is completely gathered, like too much in this spot. This is not hemmed. It should be, I think it wanted like a centimeter's worth of hem, which I don't know why I would have probably not. I probably just gone, I like a longer shirt, so I probably a tunic, so I would have just done a 1/4 inch, but you can go up higher. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm going to take this off and really quick show you the gathering pinching problems, and then I'm going to be done with this video. So hold on a second. Okay, so I have it off, and I don't know if you can see here, but do you see how I gathered way too much into one spot somehow? And this was even hard to get on and off. The armholes are too tight, a bit too tight. So this is my sewing fault here for not seeing how the gathering was going. But again, it's like there's so much fabric gathered down into this tight yoke. So this sleeve came out fine. It's still pretty tight though. And this sleeve just, I didn't know that there was a problem. And I was certainly not about to do this again. I just, not in the timeline that I had available. I would like to try this pattern again. I'm assuming that the skirt would be, I mean, just easy peasy. It's just, again, like I said, I made up my own pattern for that. I just don't even make a pattern, really. I just cut like 3 stacks of different lengths. They're like the easiest skirt to make, the tiered skirt. So, yeah. But I'm assuming the pattern would be fine for that. I just didn't want to use as much. I don't think I have like a long enough. I just didn't want to do it by hand. Okay, because my fingers it would have taken me days, and my fingers would have been really sore and blistered because I haven't been sewing for a while. But yeah, the thing is, oh man, I'm so mad at this pattern. Love the 70s and aesthetic, and I wanted this to work so much. So I might try it again. You have to double over this fabric so it makes it really stiff. So if it's not fitting perfectly, it's going to be really thick and awkward, and it was. It might be interesting to, yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know about this pattern. So I'm hoping that everybody else that did this project had some success with it. It's unusual that I can't figure out a pattern. Like, I like literally cut it out perfectly. So, and I'm always very careful to cut it out perfectly. And there was nothing mysterious about the instructions. Again, so I don't know why it's not fitting and what doll it's supposed to fit on, because it certainly wasn't fitting on the Barbie correctly. And again, it was this pattern. This was done, I don't know when this came out, but, well, it's got a thing of 2024 on it, but it looks old. I mean, it looks like a reprint of something that was originally done old. So, maybe it fits a newer doll. Maybe it fits like a new body style. Maybe it would fit this girl. I'll try it on one more time, and I'll try it on her. I know that, again, the one sleeve won't fit, but I can tell if the yoke and the other sleeve will fit. I'll try it on this, this Millie, and I'll let you know. Hold on a second. Okay, I am surprised this actually fits her way better than the classic Barbie. However, the yoke is still not right. And I wanted to also point out one thing I forgot to mention. On the instructions, it tells you to fold this under 1/4 of an inch in the back and then slip stitch the doll into it. Now, if I fold this over 1/4 of an inch in the back, you can't, it said, or you can add buttons or snaps or whatever, but you can't, you have to slip stitch it. It meets up exactly. So I guess you'd have to put hooks and eyes together in the back. So that's another problem with this stupid pattern. Who wants to have a doll, an outfit that you have to freaking sew the doll into? That's stupid. So you would, like I said, but then you'd have to like really mess with the hooks and eyes. Okay, so definitely this fits her better, 100%. This is the doll to style in, to make this outfit for a new bodied, or or maybe even the you know, the holiday bodies come on it, the really skinny body, the model muse body. Sorry about the background, guys, my boxes. So the model muse body might work too. And you can see again that it fits, the yoke and everything fits so much nicer, but look at how high it is. Why is it so high? It should be cutting, it should be, it does not look like this in the picture, and it doesn't lay right, like, at all. Like, that's gross. So, okay, so the takeaways from this are, 1, if you're going to make this, make it for a modern body and not for a classic OG Barbie body. 2, if you like really short ass sleeves, go ahead and use this, but you should probably add a good more than that, like 1/2 inch to the sleeves to fit her if you want long sleeves. Thirdly, you have to be extremely careful when gathering the sleeve up here, not to gather it like this, to pinch it all, to evenly gather. And it looked evenly gathered. You need to be very careful in your gathers as you're doing this. 4, if I take a centimeter and fold it under, it's going to come, I don't know, that feels like pretty, if you're going to blouse that and everything, that feels pretty short to me. I would only pull this up 1/4 of an inch on the bottom for the hem. And lastly, if you want this doll to be able to change her clothing, you will need to add 1/4 of an inch to one side of this to overlap. So whichever side you decide, you can fold under 1/4 of an inch on the one side, but then you're going to have to add another 1/4 of an inch on the other side if you want to add snaps down the thing. So, yeah, sometimes the sewing, it really is a challenge and it just doesn't work out. But I think this, I don't know what to do about the yoke. You know, it might be, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could just get rid of the yoke altogether and add 1/4 of an inch on top to make a casing, and then use elastic for the top line too. But otherwise, maybe cut off 1/4 of an inch. It's like it's 1/4 of an inch to, I don't know what's wrong. I really just can't tell what's wrong with it. I mean, it would be fine if it was supposed to be a turtleneck, but look how it fits funny. It doesn't lay right as a turtleneck. So I don't know. I'm really eager to see if anybody had success with this and how it turned out. And if you did do it, let me know in the comments below how you found this pattern, like how you found it to do. Was it too hard? Was it easy? Did it just work for you? Are you happy with it? Yeah. And do you think simplicity should have the moniker simplicity? All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. And thanks again, Marna and Darren, for sending me this pattern. I really enjoy working off of patterns and learning new techniques in sewing because I'm still, you know, learning as a sewer. And this one really was a challenge for me, and I really appreciate that. I know I'm frustrated, but at the same time, like I really learned a lot doing this, and it was unique and interesting. So thank you so much, guys. Bye.